to stop the retaliatory efforts moving forward, as well as the police presence moving forward? There are still more graduations.
Right.
School's obviously out today.
Right. As far as we're going to be supporting RPS with security at any future graduations and some of the events. I think I mentioned it last night, but it's important to reiterate it. Not only did we have 3 Richmond police officers on site when the shooting took place, like literally 15 feet away from the shooting, we had 7 other officers on Belvedere directing traffic that were on scene within a minute. So we need to attempt to deter these crimes, but if we have an officer right there and this still happens, it's really challenging for us. But as far as our efforts to deter this crime, we realize that after a highly charged event like this, that there is a propensity for direct retaliation. That's why we sent our team to the hospital last night to speak with the family, who was rightfully angry about what happened to their loved ones, and we're communicating with them, trying to avoid another tragedy.
And was the suspect a former student?
I'm not sure of that. I know he was not there for his own graduation. He was there visiting, viewing another person's graduation.
And Chief, was he waiting for Sean, or did he just walk up as they were celebrating in the park?
I wouldn't say he was waiting for him. I think there was an interaction, and then it appears that the suspect went to his car to retrieve the gun and then returned.
Is there information about the gun, how it was obtained, or what kind of weapon it was?
Yes, handgun.
Do we know how it was obtained?
Not at this point. We'll be tracing the weapons, but he would not have been able to purchase a handgun himself due to his age.
Chief, do you believe the suspect attended the graduation ceremony and then came outside and had a confrontation?
Yes.
Chief, there's been difficulty getting the community to come forward in a lot of these cases. Is there any more that you could say to encourage the community to come forward?
Well, that's what we're begging for. I mean, we have hundreds of hours of video, but I guarantee you there are people that have some information that might help us put all the pieces together, and also more information the better when it comes to that. We've already gotten people texting us pictures from just before the shooting, and all that stuff plays into the detective's ability to put this complicated situation together.
Chief, you said that this dispute had been going on for about a year. Do we know if any other adults tried to intervene before it got to this point?
Not to my knowledge. And that brings me to a statement that I made last Saturday at the Wear Orange event for anti-gun violence. And I talked about what I would ask our community, our parents to do, and that is, we were always telling folks to look in their kids' bedrooms, search their bedrooms, look for guns, weapons, that sort of thing. Today, we also have to have them look through your social media. You can sometimes see a blinking red light of an incident like this occurring because the disputes start on social media and they're magnified, because where you could be disrespected in a school setting and maybe 30 people see it, if it's online, thousands of people see it, and that's how we can get to this point over what I would think would be a trivial matter.
Madam Chief, you guys have been tracking, RPD has been tracking active shooters through a variety of social media, as you mentioned. Was Amari a name or a person that came up at all in your databases or in your Clearview AI, those kinds of technologies that you're using these days?
He had very little interaction with us, was not a convicted felon, not a person on our radar. So that's one of the reasons it's very surprising that this escalated the way it did.
Thank you, Chief. We'll wrap it up.
Okay, thank you, everyone.
Can we ask the school district a quick question? Is there a plan to remember Sean and his father?
It's in the works, and we'll show that information when it's ready.
And there is counseling available, Superintendent?
Absolutely. All of our school counselors, and we have a mental health crisis support team that is available. And again, for immediate crisis support, I urge students and families to call the RBHA number that I shared earlier.
Superintendent Cameras, could you just share with us, I know there's only a couple more days left of school. Do you guys have an update on what will happen for the rest of the week and other potential graduations, or is that still being talked about?
We haven't made a decision on the rest of the week just yet, but all of the remaining high school graduations are being rescheduled to next week. they will occur at the schools, not at the Altria Theater. There will be enhanced security, and there will be much more limited seating, given that they will be at the schools. All of those details will be going out to our seniors and their families later today.
Chief, could you give us more detail on how the suspect was apprehended? Because I think you had said last night, VCU security officers got him. Can you give us detail on how he fled on foot, how far he got, what the apprehension was like? Did they wrestle him down? What happened?
No. I'll answer this last one. Yeah, he essentially was surrendered and cooperated with security and then taken into our custody. So he did flee the scene. He was very, very close by. He did not get very far, and then surrendered peacefully and was taken into custody and was interviewed by our detectives.
Chief, can you just clarify about the guns? You said they found 4 handguns yesterday. Can you clarify? So now you're saying he had 1 gun? You went. Can you just talk
He
about
had
that?
1 gun.
Okay.
There were other guns recovered from the scene. As I mentioned, we stopped another individual yesterday with a gun who is not related to this. We were able to confirm that he was not directly involved. If you remember, I mentioned we stopped 2 individuals. We verified that other individual's story that he retrieved his gun after the event in order to protect people. So he was released.